Thank you for staying tuned. Now, according to the National Sugar Development Council, the implementation of the National Sugar Masterplan has reached 40.3% between 2013 and 2016. So, why is this so? Let's get the answers in this conversation with the Executive Secretary of the Council. Dr. Abdulateef Busari, thank you very much for joining us on Dateline Abuja.
Thank you for having me.
Let me start with an observation I made. I mean, it's common knowledge. Virtually every house you go, you see a lot of Nigerians doing sugar. In my house, the story is the same. Yet, we do know that Nigeria is said not to be consuming enough sugar. How true is this?
Yeah, well, I think you're talking about the per capita consumption. We have a huge population. So when you divide the amount of sugar that we totally consume by a huge population, of course it will come down. So that is why you have that, yeah, it's true that we have a per capita consumption of about 6.97 kilograms. And it's been coming down since 2015, really.
And that makes us the lowest in the world?
One of the lowest. One of the lowest. And it's mainly because you are dividing something like 1.5 million metric tons with about 200 million, so definitely it will come down. So yeah, but that's the true thing. But another factor to it also is that the bulk of the sugar we even consume goes into the industrials, what they use in the soft drinks industry, the breweries, pharmaceuticals, dairy production, all these food juices. The bulk of the sugar that 1.5 million metric tons goes into the industrials.
Dr. Busara, I guess the government realizes this, and that's why there was that ban in sugar importation from way back 2013. It's been 7 years now. Where are we on that?
Yeah, well, it's not because we are consuming lower that they ban. It's because they want to promote local production, knowing fully well that Nigeria as a country has all it takes to, produce what we consume. Not only in sugar, everything really. We have the capacity, the material resources, the natural resources to produce what we consume. So now to your second question, where are we 7 years on? Is that it's a work in progress. That's where I can put it. We must first realize that sugar production, the factories, the field is not something you just go to the store and pick and put there. You have to develop the fields. It takes time. You have to you have to manufacture your equipment, and it's a whole lot of process. If you look at the Sugar Master Plan, it says that assuming you need 3 things to establish a sugar factory. 3 things. You need the land, you need the finance, and you need the technical expertise, broadly. Assuming you have the 3 today, 3 of them, it will take you 4 to 5 years to see sugar coming out. So imagine where you still have to start, looking for land. You know how long that will take. So you get the land, you go to do the development of the land. It's going to take time. And then the sugar manufacturing, the factories are not there. They are built to purpose because it's the amount of land available to you that will determine the input capacity of the plant that land can take. You need to know how much cane can we produce. Okay, so then we do a factory that will be able to take that cane. So you have to design it. After some time, then you now produce the machineries. You bring them over and install. Test run. So, and even on the development of the field, if you want to grow 100 tons, 200 tons of rice or maize today, you could go to the market or go to the seed companies. They will get the seed for you. You can't do the same thing for cane. So what we do is what we have cane nurseries, because cane is propagated by the stalk. It's a natural thing. So to grow cane, you need to have prepared your land ready, and then you go and cut and quickly bring. You don't want to waste time after you cut. So nobody grows cane seed and leave it there. Just like you can grow rice and harvest and keep whenever the season they come to you and buy for maize. But you can't do that so you have to develop. So you have nurseries where you start maybe 5 hectares, 10 hectares, and then you grow the 10 hectares, you cut it when it's mature as seed, and then you multiply that, and then cut that one. The 10 hectares will give you 100 hectares. The 100 hectares will give you 1,000 hectares. So that's how you develop till you need maybe about 3,000, 5,000 hectares of cane. Then you are ready to go into commercial production.
This master plan, the sugar master plan, is a well thought out document, isn't it?
It is.
Where are we in the implementation of that at the moment?
Where we are is that, it has several facets to it. What we call the low-hanging fruits in the master plan is to get the refineries to do backward integration, mandatory backward integration, which means to get those who are currently importing raw sugar to start gradually replacing the raw sugar they import with sugar that they produce from their own farms and their factories. Where are we? By 2023, when the current master plan will come to an end, we should be in position to produce about 1 million metric tons. Not quite what we projected as 1.7, 1.8 million metric tons. But if we are able to do 1 million metric tons by 2023, I think we are doing fine.
Perhaps that's why some critics would say, as far as the master plan goes, it has failed completely, that sugar production has stagnated in the country. Do you share this sentiment?
Yeah, no, definitely not. The people who say that don't appreciate the nature of the industry we're talking about. And I'll give you just one example, and for them to also go and think about. This is an industry that you need to continue to pump in money for the next 4 or 5 years, like I said, before you even see anything coming out. How many investors in Nigeria have that kind of have stomach for that kind of investment? When you can invest in government bonds and go to sleep, or you can, most investors want something they can put their money in today, and within the next few months start getting something back. And so where you are, and it's capital intensive also. It's not just small amount of money we are talking about. It will take time. It's just something that people compare us with cement. With all due respect, cement is not like, something is in the ground, you bring it up, add some fuel, whatever, and then you bag. You are not contending with, agricultural risks like everybody who agree knows. So when you appreciate the peculiarities of the industry, you will know that it's not that easy. We are not trying to pat ourselves in the back, but the fact remains that, and it is the same all over the world. You need what we are trying to do with this master plan is to have that foundation. Once we have a foundation, the rest is easy. If we could hit 1 million by 2023, I tell you, within few years to that, we'll surpass even what we projected. And exactly that's what even happened in cement.
On that very optimistic note, I'd like to thank you once again for coming on Dateline.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, that's all we've got time for on this week's episode of the program. But let's continue the conversation online through the email address and Twitter handle on your screens. Also, be sure to share anything that's happening within your locality with us. Let me also remind you that you can view the program on youtube.com/channelsweb/videos. Thank you again for watching. I'm Ibrahim Adra. We'll be back next time.